Oh, good afternoon. Did you think I wasn't coming? I'm sorry about that. We've had quite a busy morning here, and we sort of stopped for a quick lunch, and we're just counting down the minutes till we got to it. So I'm all here. Do you know what? I'm actually really looking forward to this sit down for this hour. It's lovely to be busy, but it's nice to just sort of think, oh, I'm just going to have a little bit of time now, and the world doesn't matter, it will wait for an hour. So how are we then? Everybody okay? Tile 80, yet another milestone, 80 tiles. It's doing pretty good, isn't it? We're all steaming ahead now for 100 for Christmas, or for New Year at least. So yeah, that should be good. I hope you're all up for it today. You know, I like to provide you a little bit of a challenge on a Friday. Woohoo! So here we go. What do I have with me then? Got my tile. Doesn't really matter what colour tile you use, although I'll show you my finished one at the end. I've actually used the cream, but then I've inked around the edges just to sort of bring the colours in, because I want to use a bit of colour today. So, okay, I've got my pen, my pencil, my tortillon. I've got a couple of tortillons. As you can see, this one has got a bit of pastel on it there, and this one's got the graphite, so I'm mixing the two because I've got my pastels with me as well. So, are we up for this? Are we ready? Oh, I'm excited. I can't wait for this one. It's going to be great. Oh, I have a white pen as well. My jelly roll. That's just for a little bit of a highlight later on. So, here we go. Deep breath. All right, we're going to need a deep breath. I'm just building you up. Okay. So let's start with our pencil. All right, I'm going to go a little bit larger, and I'm going to sort of work diagonally today, and I want to sort of find sort of the centre. So you see what I've done there? I've sort of worked myself along a line, put a little bit of a mark there, and I'm going to do the name. Oh, thank you, Tracy. It's nice to know that somebody was watching, because you never know. But yeah, I really try and get a little bit of education in there if I can as well. Okay, so there's my little cross, you see? All right, next bit then. What I want to do is I'm going to stick with pencil just for a little minute. Oh, it's still misty in Derbyshire. We broke out today. The sun's out now, so it was a bit murky earlier. But no, we're all good now. Okay, so I'm just going to pencil in a little bit of a bubble. There we go, so a little bit of a bubble. So how big do we think that bubble is? It's, if I look at my pen, I've got quite a border. Can we see that? Hang on a second. It's quite a border around, so let's do it this way. There we go. So it's sort of from the very end, can't find anything to work to sort of where my AP is-ish. So it's about, I don't know, 12 millimetres, something like that. It's not too small, not too shabby there. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an aura around it. There we go. So just sort of sketching it round. Say it nice and lightly, because not all of it will stay. Okay. All right. So what I want to do now is, it doesn't really matter which way you go, does it? I'm just going to extend this line a little bit, and this line a little bit. All right. You see, I've got a line. So looking at how big this is, let's have a look, see. I'm going to line it up. I'm going to sort of do a little bit of a measure, and then it's going to be, I'm going to put a mark there. So that's about the same as that. So then this one is going to be about the same as that. So I've got a bit of the same distance. Oh, I think I'm just going to take my cardi off. It's a little bit warmer in here than it is in the warehouse. So, yeah, it's all layers. All right, okay, next bit then. I'm going to turn it so this line faces me this way, okay? And on this top end here, I'm just going to add a little bit of a curve, you see? And then here, a little bit of a curve, but it's slightly more pointed, let's say. So I've got a bit more of an open and a pointy one there, okay? Let's go a little bit larger so you can see what I'm doing. So my aim is I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to skim the top of that bubble there, you see? So that's going in there, and then I'm going to come back down to join that little V there, okay? Oh, Via, pick of the day. I actually didn't give you any clues at all about the pick of the day. There was a bit of a clue there about something new that's coming on my anniversary show, but not the pick of the day. Oh, keeping it secret. I'll give you a little bit of a hint at some point, okay? All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to sort of bring it and add a little bit of a curve in there, you see? There you are, and again it's sort of gone into that circle there. So I've got that kind of shape. Oh, okay. So here we go again then. Let's pull out from here, and again I'm still working with a pencil, just to give me a bit of an idea, up and round there, okay? And then on this side I'm going to do a really narrow aura. All right, so there we go, bit of an odd shape at the minute. Let's see where this is going to take us. So I'm going to come in now with my pen, okay, and I'm just going to draw in that original bubble there. Of course, if you feel you need to give it a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of a tidy up or a tweak, it's absolutely fine. You can do that at this point. There we go. Okay, and then before I do the other bubble, I'm going to bring this in and I want to draw this line in. All right, there we go. And I'm going to draw this line in. And I'm going to turn it round. Oh, Lindsay, turning that one in there. And that one in there. See, that's a lot thinner, isn't it? I'm going to make that even a little bit thinner still there. Okay. And then here I'm going to add in that little bit. You see, I'm not adding that full bubble in now. I'm just adding that little bit in there. You can see. All right. Okay. So on this bubble in the centre then, let's come in and add a little bit of a curve. Line, all right. I'm going to add another one in there, just a little one, maybe a little dot. All right. And then again, if you have a thicker pen at this point, you might want to use that. Save using your fine nib, but I'm just going to enjoy the moment colouring that little bit in there. I'm going to obviously not colour those in. There we go. Just going to fill it in. So where we had that cross earlier, you don't see that anymore. There we are. Now bearing in mind this, we're not doing life drawing here. You know, we've just drawn basic lines, basic shapes. Everybody's is going to look different. So don't panic about whether it's going to look right or not. This is just part of what we're going to be doing. It's not going to just stay this way. So I'm not going to be drawing a forehead and a fringe and a nose or anything like that. There we are. Just filling that little bit in. There we go. Alright, it's quite a lot of black there today, isn't it, for that? There we go. Let's have a look. Alright. And then I'm just going to add a little bit in there. There we go, just give it a bit of a shape there. Okay, that's as detailed as that gets in that sense. All right. Whew, deep breath. Okay. So we're going to ignore that. Don't even look at it as an eye for now. Just look at it as shapes and styles. There's no big deal. All right, we're not trying to create something that's totally realistic here. But what I am going to do is I'm going to add some crosses across the top there. So there we go. Now whether you want to do the zigzag first and then come back and add the other in, well, I'm just sort of doing it as I go. Just following that shape. adding in those crosses. Alright, just as we go. See, it's getting a bit smaller now, a bit smaller, almost to nothing at that bottom edge. Okay, and then if I go a little bit larger, there we go, you see where we've got those crosses in the middle. I'm just going to add a little bit of a square in there. Or it could be a diamond, or you could put in a dot if you like. Really doesn't matter. So I'm going to get a little bit on the ends there. This is almost another cross starting off. There we go. Alright. And just in there. Just working my way around, filling in those little bits. Alright. Taking my time. Just enjoying adding those little shapes in there. I'm just working out, do I need a bit on the end or not? Or is it just going to go in the middle? And that's it. Okay, let's have a look at where we are. Oh, Joanne, when am I back? Oh, my goodness me. I'm back on the 14th for this month's pick of the day, which is totally top secret yet because I've not showed anybody anything. But I'm hoping you'll love it. We do, we love it. Okay? So let's sort of come in from this bottom corner here. I'm just going to add or extend that line, so it's a bit of a flick. And then I'm going to go along that line and just add these little curves. They don't have to be all the same length away from each other or the same width apart. But I'm going to, as I get towards that middle shape there, you see I'm starting to sort of not curve it as much now. It's got a little bit smaller as well. It's almost coming to a sort of vertical. There we go. Because then what I want to do coming back down is work the other way. Now again, this is not the end of this. We're going to come back and do more of this a little bit later. So don't think you've got to get it all exactly as you want it right now. I'm just sort of adding in some lines over the top there. Okay? Alright, so let's have a look at the bottom layer now. Before we sort of get too carried away, what I'm going to do is start here and I'm just going to do a row of little bubbles. There we go. Just a little row, just so they're all touching. Just following that line along that bottom edge. Alright, just taking it nice and gentle. Don't worry about trying to make them all the same. It's just about working them along that edge. So I'm going to get really small going to this edge there. There we go. Oh, sorry, I do apologise. See? Really small. There we go. Sorry, I got so carried away and do my bubbles and I forgot that you need to see it on camera. Sorry. Oops. Okay. Alright, let's have a look at this little space here. I'll go a little bit larger. There we go. A little dot. And then I'm just going to add a little swirl. I'm not going to go too big. I'm just going to keep it in context. Now the idea is here that I'm not going to fill the whole of the space in. Just going to add a little bit along that top edge. Let's add another one, maybe there. Just see really little, just a couple of really little ones, you see? And then maybe a couple of little dots. There we are. And then this side, let's again, a little dot. And let's do some of those swirls. Now, you'd be quite focused with this, that you want to keep them quite small. So you're not trying to fill the whole space, you're just wanting a little bit of detail. And you see as I go, if there are any gaps, I fill them in. There's a little bit of that black ink, just to give it a little bit of depth there. Okay? missing something here. Look, we're all having, oh, hello, Helen. Oh, I'm sure everybody's made you feel really welcome. You are. Brilliant. Glad you could join us. Now, I know that if you've just come on, you're sort of looking at this and thinking, oh my word, what is she doing? Don't want you to panic. It's not a problem. Take it easy, all right? See, I've just added some swirls there. So I'm going to sort of come over to this side now. And I'm going to do something a bit similar. Not the same, not a mirror image, just something similar. Just taking my time. I'm adding a few in there. Alright, if you've got any little gaps, just fill them in. Just taking it easy. Remember to keep them quite small. We don't want to go too large at all here, we just want to keep it nice and tight in there. There we go. Fill in those little bits, a couple of little dots around. Alright. And then again, just at this far end, that's that dot again. And just a few little swirls. It just gives it a little bit of character in there. Alright, it's nothing major. Okay, let's have a look at that. Alright, so far so good. Okay, next bit then. I want to come back to this centre section here. Let's address this, alright? So I'm going to come on in and I'm going to put a little line. It's not quite touching the top, as you can see. And then a little bit here. Now that's quite close, so that's okay. And then at 3 o'clock and at 9 o'clock. And then let's do the same there, splitting that section sort of halfway. And then here, I could go another, let's go another one. See, I'm splitting that space every time, but it's not quite touching that outer edge. Alright. Who said we couldn't draw? Hey. And again, I think I'll do it once more. Look, I'm just going to go in and split that space just into those sections again. There we go. I'm going to go in really quite a lot here, because what I want to do on the end of each one, put just a little bubble on the end of each one. Alright, just not too big, because we might be doing something else in a minute here. But just to sort of see there, you're not going to quite get it because it's gone underneath. But coming back around these sides, just add in those little bubbles on the top. All the way around. Okay? And then you see where we've got the gaps in between. This time we're going to come from the outside in. See? And just fill in between those gaps. It doesn't matter if there's not much space or you're thinking, oh no, it's going to touch. That's okay. We just want to go around and fill in wherever we can. So whether you go from outside in, you see again, I'm not going all the way to the edge, or whether you want to work from that way out. It's entirely up to you. So you're going to perhaps see a little bit of them there. Alright, and again, oh, just a bubble there. If you can get one in, go for a tiny little bubble on the end. There we are. So we said it was going to be really quite focused in there today. But yeah, if it's a little bit too much and you can't get the little bubbles on, please don't worry about it. Just leave it in with the lines. There we go. Alright. Okay, let's have a look at that. Oh, there you go. Okay, not bad at all. It's looking alright now. Alright, I'm just going to add a little bit of weight to the outside of that line, see? And this line too. Just going back over it with my pen, just to sort of give it a little bit more. And then let's have a look. Let's again follow this line here. And then let's add in a couple of flicks. You see how I actually take it and curve it as I'm going and flick it out? See? There we are, just in little bits. Oh, I know, come on, Pat, you know. if you were surprised by now, I'd be surprised. You honestly, you never know what's coming each time we do one of these, and you embrace it. You all do. You embrace it, and even the one where we did that beautiful flower, remember? And then I drew all over it, and you were like, "Oh my word, what's she doing? She's gone a bit crazy." You followed me. It was, and that's fine. Just give it a go. You'll be, honestly, you have to step out your comfort zone a little bit. And as much as some of you might be thinking, "What is she doing?" It'd be nice to sort of try something a little bit different, don't you think? I think so. All right. So here we go. Next little bit. So we're going to be working on this bottom edge. And what I'd like to do, because we've got some of these little swirls going on in here, I'm going to just, on this far end, I'm just going to sort of introduce just a few little ones, just to sort of get us in the swing of it. You see, really small. We're not talking really large here. And of course, I'm going over those eyelashes that I've just done, but well, that's absolutely fine. There we go, just a couple, see, to get it going. All right. Oh no, Julie, it's a surprise, all right. All right. So let's work from the centre. Okay, the centre-ish anyway. And I'm going to, underneath here, let's go for a bit of a squiggle, a little bend, and I'm going to come back in on itself. Now, some of you will know this pattern or this tangle. We've done it before, but some of you don't. So just bear with us and just watch what we do. So this time I'm going to do one, I'm going to come the other way. You see, and if I find that it's going, and it touches this one here. Oh, thank you, Denise, appreciate that. Trust me though, not everything. Sometimes I will do something sometimes and I'll just think, no, that's a little bit too far-fetched even for me. But yeah, it's nice, isn't it, to just have the support of all you lovely people here saying, go on, do something a bit different, and you just take it on board. It's great. See, it's your fault. Oh, maybe so. See, look, yeah. Never expect. Let's put another one of those in here. Here we go. You see, I'm going to follow it down a little bit. Not much. I don't want to overdo it. And then, okay, let's put one in here. You see, I'm sort of working on this central area at the minute. I'm not really delved too far out. I mean, I will in a minute, but I wanted to sort of get a little bit of depth there, you see. That's probably about far enough. I've got a little bit of space there, so for whatever I want to do a bit later. So I'm going to now come on in here and add a couple in here, but I'm not going to go as far down. Imagine it's sort of being a bit of a triangle-ish shape. So let's just add another one there. See, I'm going to follow that round. Well, let's put another one in here. See, they're getting a little bit smaller as we go. And there we are. Let's have another one here. There you are. Maybe a little one there. See, you've got that sort of movement going up and along there. So let's do something similar here. See, that one's going underneath. It gives it that sense of depth. So it's always nice to do a couple of those. So it does look like some are going underneath. All right. Okay, and into this one. Another one there. See, I'm not trying to repeat and I'm not having a perfect sort of triangle shape here. I'm just adding in little bits and not thinking about, does it match the other side? Let's have a little look. There we go. See, you might even put one there, look. Just a little one. Okay. All right, so far, so good. Let's have a look. I think, yeah, looking at it now, let's add another one in there. I want it to be too obvious that we're trying to, work with a shape. Let's add one in there. And there. It's always worth, sometimes you just sort of kick back and have a look at it and think, okay, what more do I want to do? There you are. It's possibly about enough there. But, yeah, let's go in a bit closer. Oh, June. Yeah. But you know what, now it's all about you. It's all about what you can do, isn't it? I can draw. I'm sure a lot of you can as well, but I know some of you struggle, you don't have that confidence. So if I can bring a little bit into what we do as well, I think that's all good, isn't it? So you can see what I'm actually doing here. I'm doing these little auras inside the shapes and then just filling it with bubbles, and then any gaps, just putting the gaps in. So if we look at, say for example, this one here, we can come on in and an aura, draw around there, that shape, and then come on in here and that one. You see just those little gaps, just a little bit. There we are. See, so this one here, just fill it with bubbles. Let's just colour those. So again here, into that shape, just following around those lines. And then we go, fill with bubbles, and again, just fill in those little guys. That gives it that little bit of drama, doesn't it, having that? Oh, yes. Kettle is on. And yeah, G and I know, you just have to go for it. I think the most important thing is remembering that it's not going to be the same. Nobody's is. And just sort of really just biting the bullet and having a go. I think the scariest thing is that first step, isn't it? It's actually picking the pen up and putting it to paper. I mean, we all say, oh, we've brought the book and we've got some tiles and we'll sit and do it when we've got time. And do we ever really have the time if you don't actually physically make it? Yeah, I mean, start with 5-10 minutes and, do it in something even... I mean, I sort of... yeah, a bit of scrap paper and have a go, but you know what? You learn best when you work on a good piece of paper, a good quality piece, and you've got the best equipment you can find with you, because then it becomes a little bit more precious and you want to spend the time doing it. But it's just having that go, taking that first step. And everybody on here is so supportive, so if there was anything you're not sure of, or you wanted a bit of somebody's opinion, then post and ask, because I've noticed that a lot of you you come on and you're very, very helpful with each other. Okay, so I've just got one there that you see, just one there. Just filled it with little bubbles. All right, let's have a look at where we're at with that then. Oh no, there's no cake. No cake here. Just a cup of tea. We've got biscuits in the cupboard, we have them on occasion. We do try and eat very healthy here. All right, so far? Okay, so let's come in again. At this time, we want to sort of extend these a little bit. I'm going to sort of pull out here and bring a bit of a line out. There we go. Let's just thicken that up a little bit, and let's put a little triangle on the end. Colour that in. And then at this top section here, let's just add in this little droplet, and then another one, and then a droopy one. See, another droplet, then a droopy one. Okay, love the droopy one. Yeah, oh, carrot cake then, Maureen. I just don't know. I don't know if I actually get vegetables in a cake. I don't know. I'm not quite sure if I can do that. It's like bread and butter pudding right now. Oh, sorry, Sue, I'm knocking you to sleep. It should have been a therapist, shouldn't I? So I don't think my husband feels that way. There you are. All right. So we've got enough coming in there. I think let's have one sort of coming out here. Now this is where you start creating your own version, because although I'm putting some in on this side, you might think you've got enough. And you might think, do you know what, I don't want to do any more. So that's fine. It's whenever you're ready, whenever you've finished. If you want even more. Leslie and John in the kitchen. John's probably nicked the biscuits. He usually does. Oh yeah. Okay, Sue. Oh dear. They are funny, a pair of them. They get going. There we go. Alright, let's have a look then. Oh, do you, Barbara? No, it's just something I've never been able to sort of bring myself to even try. I don't get it. But then again, it's a white sort of thing, innit? I've got a thing about white sauces. Don't ask me why or what it's about, but no, white sauces. White sauces, and after my op last year, baked beans. Can't do either. Okay, let's have a look at that then. All right. It is actually, yeah, it is very sort of psychedelic, isn't it? Okay, so of course it's got to have a little bit of foliage. Let's bring this in. Yeah. Oh, does it, Barbara? Oh, let's put a little bit of a droplet on the end, and let's bring them down that line a bit more, and then join them to the line. And then here we go again. Let's have another one here. See, just little droplets as we work our way down, and just join them to a little bit there. Oh, thank you, June. I know, yeah, it is. You can't give up. You know, it's the end of the day, isn't it? It's a little bit of paper, a pen, and a pencil. So you're not losing anything. You're not, you know, just for having a go. Okay, Kathy. Yeah. I must say that our 60s, don't know, wasn't born. Unlike John. You can't hear me, so that's all right. I can say these things. Hey, let's have another one here, look. See, just adding those little droplets. And this is all about where you want to put them. Let's have a look. Yeah, Alicia, yeah, cool. Let's have another one coming out here. So you can put as much or as little of this in as you like. It just helps to sort of, you know, build up the little bit of depth that we want. There we go. And fill in those. Let's have another one, just a little one there, look. There we are. Okay, now I've got a little bit of space here, so, you know, let's come back in and let's just fill in some of that there. It's all about just sort of setting back a little bit and having a look and thinking, where do you want it to go? Where do you want it to be? There we go. And I think, do you know what I think I'll do as well? I'm going to fill these in. Just because they're so small, let's just add that little bit of something in there as well. Okay. Look, I had to do something special for the 80th tile, didn't I? I suppose I need to work on something for the 100th, don't I? I'll do it. I'll come up with something. Yeah. I suppose at some point. I know we have done a Christmassy tile as well, haven't we? I think at some point we'll have a look at doing a Christmas tile or two, but maybe in December. Not just yet, eh? There we are. Alright, a couple of bits there. So let's have a look. Alright, let's see. Oh, it would, wouldn't it? Nice card topper so far. Okay, so I'm going to leave this a little bit. Actually, no, what I'm going to do, you see I've got these gaps that have appeared. Let's just go and aura around those gaps and fill them in again with bubbles. See, I'm not going to do this one. I've got a little one here. There we go. Just fill it in. And maybe this one. If you've got a couple of gaps, just go on in and fill them in there. That's fine. All right. So let's have a look at this top section then. Right, where are we gonna go with this? All right. So I'm gonna come quite large with this. I'm gonna have a bit of a contrast. So up and round as though I was doing a large sort of bubble, and then I'm going to come back round on myself. We love this one. There you go. Alright. But this time I think what we'll do is we're going to sort of come off from here, and let's give it a little bit of an accent back into the point there. And then let's do another one. Back into the point. And then another. And another. So that's what we've done 4. Yeah. Let's leave it at 4. Okay, now some of you thinking, no, I wanted to do an odd number. No, you can if you like, to be honest, it's fine. See, I've done one the other way this time, a little bit smaller, but I'm going to repeat it. I'm going to add in 1, 2, 3, and 4. See, I could add 5 in there, being a little one, couldn't I? There we are, look. All right, let's do another. So I'm going to have one coming in and up through there. Same sort of thing. In we go. And around. Back through. See, I'm going underneath. And then same again. Let's look. 1. So that's going to go down here. And 2. I'm going to make sure that joins. And then another. So that's going to come under there this time. And then under that one. There we go. Oh, I remembered I had a cup of tea then. Forgot about that. Oh, that's good. Isn't it lovely when you know when you have a drink and you just think, oh, that's just so nice and warm. I'm glad I had that. Thank you, Leslie. Yeah. So same sort of thing again. Just repeating that pattern. I can do 5 there, see if I want, just to give it a little bit of a difference. And then let's have one coming out. So it's going to go round. It's going to come out back here. You see, they're not too small, these. They're not the fine, delicate ones as you've got underneath. They're slightly more substantial, let's say. So you're going to get a bit there. Okay. I know. So, oh, we're thinking colour, not yeah. See, this is the thing, isn't it? This is what makes this so different. Is that we want to put colour on it. We're crafters as well, and you know, we want to do these different things. Okay. All right. I think I'm going to have, let's have a look. I'm just going to put a small one here. And you see, look, I'm not concerned about going over those eyelashes. I said we'd be coming back to them, didn't I? So that's fine. Okay. Oh, Sue. That's where you need a John or a Leslie, isn't it? Okay. So this time I'm going to come out and I'm going to add a bit of a swirl. All right. Let's go a little bit larger. And then I'm going to draw around the swirl. So there's that aura. And extend it and go around as far as I can around that little stem. And then let's give it a little bit of a hat. 1, 2, 3, 4. See how it's getting smaller? I can even get a 5th one on there. Alright. So let's do the same again. But I'm going to go the other way around this time. So there you go. A bit of a swirl. And then let's aura. Go around. And then give it a hat. 1. You see, this time you don't really have a say in where it goes or what direction that falls, and it sort of does it itself, doesn't it? Let's just have one there. I'm just going to put a swirl on its own there, and I think just a little bit of weight in that top bit there, and then just a little bit around that there. All right. Oh, your new favourite. I know what you mean. It's funny, isn't it? You always get those. You can't always make your mind up. Yeah, I'm going to just fill this in here with one. There we go. And again, it's looking like it's got a bit of a hat on. There we are. Okay, let's bring one sort of, you know, I'm going to bring one up and around up here. You see why we didn't sort of go all the way to the top now? Just gives us that opportunity to add in a couple of extra bits and pieces. There we go. So it's going that way. There we go. Oh. All right. Let's look at. It's gonna go with one here. Again, don't be concerned about going behind something. It's fine. You know, that's how it's sort of naturally going to go. Look, we've got a bit of a bendy one there. Oh, yeah, I suppose so, yeah. A little bit of a thing going on. See, we've got a bit of weight here, but we want a little bit here too, so let's add another one in here. And the same again, round we go. And then add in that lovely little heart shape. And there we go. So far, not looking too bad. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little swirl there, just like the last one where we put a little bit of weight in a couple of places. You see the eyelash here? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend that and turn that into one of those swirls too. You see, I didn't plan that, it's just that it sits there and it just sort of feels like it wants to. So let's have another one here. And again, this is all about whether you think it's going to work with what you've got on your tile. I mean, it might not be the same. Yeah? Okay. So, a couple of little bits then as well. I'm just going to go here. Let's see, I've got a bit of a gap here. Let's see where we're going. I don't know, we've done this a long time ago. This is going back to book 2, really. These wobbly little sort of alien type critters. I'm going to fill him in. There we go. And he's just underneath there. Let's have another one. See, bit of a wobble, bit of a top hat there. And then you're going to see a little bit of him there, but nothing else underneath there. There we go, just a little bit. And then let's put another one, see, another one in here. So you're going to get a bit of a wobble. Bit of a wobble. There we go. This is filling up pretty well, isn't it? It's amazing, isn't it, when you think all it is basic wavy, wobbly lines, the odd curve, a little bit of a bubble in places, and before you know it, look what you're creating. It's quite remarkable. Oh, Chris, honestly, if you don't want to do them, you can do just regular zingers if you want to. It's entirely up to you. It just gives you a little bit of an alternate, doesn't it? I'm sure if we did zingers all the time, you'd get fed up of them. I'm sure you would. You would. Right, see there, I'm going to add a little bit of a stem in. But again, it's just because it seems to work there. But you know, if yours doesn't really, so I'm going to add a little bit of one there maybe. Alright, let's have a look at that. Oh, look at that. Okay, whew. Deep breath. Alright, a couple more of these little swirls, I think. I'm just going to fill in this edge. You see, so it starts quite busy in the middle and it goes sort of peters out. Just want a couple in there just to sort of give it a little bit of something. And then, of course, let's add a few here. There we are. And a little bit there. Okay. Maybe a bit there. Alright. So what we need to do now, I think, is I'm going to come back in and I'm just going to add a little bit of weight to those eyelashes. But I'm just going to add, in places, a couple of little bubbles on. Again, this is entirely up to you if you want it more realistic and you want to keep it with the eyelashes without. That's absolutely fine. Let's go a little bit larger so you can see what I'm doing. See, I'm just putting in and adding bubble. I'm not going on the end of all of them. I'm just, some of them I'm putting a little bit further down. And of course, we're not wanting it to sort of totally obliterate everything underneath. It's all about just building those layers, isn't it? And just working it as to how it works for you. So there we go, a couple of little bubbles in there. And then of course you see now I'm coming to this side, I've changed, so my sort of curve is going in the opposite direction now. There we go. I'm just adding a little, if you've got a thicker pen, you could do that at this point instead, but I like to sort of control the weight of my own line. fine, so I'm dictating how thick I want it, not my pen. But whatever suits you, it's fine. There we go. Right, see these little lashes coming in now? They're starting to sort of take effect. There we go. And of course, if you want to add more at this point, you can come in and add more. You can go over the top of it. So if you want to use a different colour pen, you can use that too. So many possibilities for this, isn't there? This would be really good as a larger piece of work, wouldn't it, as well? I think you could get quite detailed with that eye. I mean, in particular with the centre, you could actually put some... that's great. You could put an image in there, couldn't you, or a picture? I mean, we've done that a couple of times recently, so I've not planned to do it today, although I'm going to put a few little bit of white dots and stuff in it. All right, let's have a look at where we're at then. Okay, so, whew, bit of colour. I think actually before we do the colour, I'll come in with my white pen, and I'm just going to add a couple of little dots. Nothing major, it's almost like a little bit of a starry sky. You know, and if you want to clean up the lines, the little gaps you did earlier, that's fine. So I'm not going to do much more than that. But please feel free, if you want to go in and add a little picture in there, you can do that. So then, colours. Woohoo! I'm going to go in with, let's have a look. I've got a bit of my magenta-y kind of colour here, on my pastels. Hang on, where are we? There we go, pastels. And I think round the edge, I'm going to add a little bit. And I'm not going to go all the way around the eye. I'm just going to add a little bit, one section and a little bit. See, I've pressed on quite a bit there as well, haven't I? Okay. And then I've got a bit of yellow. I'm going to add a touch of yellow in over the top of that red there. And a little bit round here. You see I've broken the where I've put the colours up. Okay. So then let's have a look at inside the eye shape here. Now, I know when we're using, you know, we are colouring in as such, we don't usually use black, but in tangling, anything goes. So I'm just going to add a touch of black in that corner there. A little bit round there. Okay. A little bit in that corner. And a little bit there. Okay. Alright. So then it comes to, I think we're going to go with all colours today. I'm going to come and use my purple. And at the side, sort of on the eyebrow there, I'm going to come and add some purple on that side. And then turning it round and some purple on the other. Okay. And then around this bottom lid, just a touch on that bottom bit there. Let's have a look at where we're at so far. Okay, doesn't look much at the minute because we've not used the tortillon, but I want to sort of get all the colour in first, I think, before we get too carried away with tortillon. So I've got two blues here. So I'm going to use the darker blue, and I'm just going to add a little bit on those. Remember those little sort of curves that we did just on the bottom edge? So I'm not particularly colouring in, I'm just adding colour. Alright? And then here, same again, I'm going to use the lighter blue, but this time sort of on the tops there. Not on all of them, it doesn't have to go on all, just a little bit of the lighter blue maybe there's. Okay. And then I think I'll stick with the blues and maybe bring in a touch of purple too, just so I've got the three colours. And then on the top here, let's add a bit of that purple. So maybe in that first one, and then bring in a little bit of blue on its own. And then maybe the lighter blue. Now this is all a little bit about choice, isn't it? It's whatever you want to do. It's just about me showing you what you can do with it. But if you want to use the same colour all the way through, want to mix and match, wherever you want to do, it's fine. And let's just see how to sort of apply it sometimes. It can be a little bit of a scary one, can't it? See what I'm doing? I'm adding it on the lines. It's got a little bit larger there. There we go, see, just on those lines there. Just to sort of give it that little bit of 3-dimension. Okay, and then I'm going to come back to that lovely magenta-y colour, and I'm going to add in a little bit either side of those little critters there. So you've got one in there and there, and there's one there, and there's one there. Like, you know, when it comes to colour, in a sense, don't sort of worry about too much about how the colours are going to work and what you're going to do. With this particular set, there's 12 colours, so you know you haven't got too much worrying to do with what you're going to use. See, this is the darker yellow. This is like a gold. It's just about, you know, adding some in there. So if you're not sure, just use a bit of everything. There we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, that's brilliant news. Yeah, I'm glad things have gone well there for you. We missed you. Alright, a little bit of red in the middle there. Okay, so let's get the torch out and have a look at where this is going to go. Now remember, you don't want to be using the same tortillon as you used for your graphite. Oh, I have a cup of tea. It's because it'll just sort of muddy the colours a bit. And start with the lighter colours. So like I've got my yellow here, so I've got a bit of blue on there, but we don't want to turn in green in there too much. So I'm just ever so gently just going to soften that colour a little bit, you see. I'm not trying to try and fill all of it. It's just about softening the edge a little bit. There you go. Okay. And then whilst I've got in the reds and yellows, I'm just going to touch those a little bit. There we are. Nothing major, nothing much. Just touch them up a little bit there. There we go. And again, I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to soften the edges, trying to leave a white gap down the middle, you see. And that just means that you're going to get that little bit of highlight going on. Okay, same here. Alright, working my way around. So you see I'm going from the lighter colour up towards the darker, just because I'm working with that tortillon. You might have a tortillon for each colour, but I haven't got mine here. I'm just working with what I've got. And of course you can clean them with a little bit of a nail file, just clean them off. They're all fine. Okay. Whew. Next bit then, let's go in with this purple and blue. See, because I've got the red on there, it doesn't really matter so much because there's a bit of red in with the purple anyway. And again, just soften the edge. You're not trying to fill the whole space. You want to leave some white highlights if you can. Just gives it that little bit of light. Alright, working my way around. So you're going to go down there, remember? Then we've put a bit up there, but you can carry it to that bottom edge there. There we go. Just follow that round. See, you've got the blue and the purple working together there, and it goes to just the blue. But you've got a bit of the colour on your tortillon, that's carrying it over. And the same here. Oh, I do apologise, see I was getting carried away again there. And I forgot to move my tile. Alright, let's have a look. Little bits. There we go. So whilst I'm working, oh look at that, it's lovely, isn't it? The blue. Oh Sam, I know, it's awful. There's got to be something out there, isn't there? It's really making us all think now about, you know, what we're going to do with our lives, what's going to change, and you know, what's going to happen afterwards. But you know, for now, let's just focus on what we're doing. I'm just working ever so gently. See, now I'm going from the purple. I'm just working my way in, but I don't want to cover the whole thing there. Oh, sending my best, Sam. Good luck on finding something else. See, a little bit there. Okay. Now let's have a look. See here, before I go into the black, I just want to add a touch there on any bits that I might have perhaps. See, I've not got. I didn't put any on that one there. See, it was hidden underneath. There's the eyelash. There we go. I'm working my way. Okay, so last thing then is that little bit of black. Just there we go. And of course, I know I do have a bit of a line there, a pencil liner. I would perhaps have. Had I been at home, I perhaps would have rubbed that out before I went in with my pastels, but not to worry. Yours is going to be a lot lighter than mine. There we go. So you see again, I'm just softening the edges, but I'm trying to keep some of the white. I don't want to lose all of it, but it does need some sort of sense of depth there, doesn't it? Okay. All right. Let's have a look at that. There we go. All right, so I think what I am going to do, just going to go in with that black pastel again. And I'm just going to add a little bit to the centre there, you know, just round the edge. It's got that velvety black feel to it, isn't it? And it just sometimes helps to build up a little bit. Just soften the edges off into there. There we go. And then, of course, we've done a little bit there. Okay, let's have a look at where we're at. Okay, so just a couple of little bits, and this is just only slight little tweaks. You see here where this one is underneath this one here. Let's have a look, you see? I'm just going to bring in a little bit of blue. See, just giving it a little bit of shadow. And there. So you see here, I'm just going to come in and add some more blue underneath. Let's have a look, a little bit there, a little bit there. So it's just about just those little bits of tweaks that just make a difference, I think. And again, I know we've smoothed out these lines here, but again, I'm just going to come in and just add a touch of colour, just up the sides again. Just to sort of bring that back out. But sometimes I know we smooth it out and soften it, and sometimes you do lose the colour a little bit. See on the eye? I'm going to come back in with a bit of red. So it's always nice to just go back in, and you can do that. I mean, of course, if you want to fix it first, I do say use hairspray, but if you use hairspray, it'll still smudge a little bit. But it's nothing stopping you coming back in and adding to it. Okay. Oh, thanks, girls. So, okay, that is as far as I want to take it. Now, if you want to put in zingers and you want to add more to it and go in a bit more depth, that's absolutely fine. I think I've given you the sort of the starting point to it. Oh, just a second. I'm just going to blow some of these little bits away. All right, there we go. So I'm just going to put my initials on there. Now I did say at the beginning, you've done that. If you spray it with a bit of fixative or a little bit of hairspray, whatever it is you want to use. See, look, I've decided it, and I'm faffing now. Look, just going to go in, just adding a touch of black to that bit there. There we go. It's entirely up to you. Again, you know, just have a bit of a play with it and. Just enjoy it, you know. I do think this looks stunning as a larger piece, but you know, times must. But what I've done with my sample is I've inked around the edge. So if I just sort of move that down a bit, so you see that's where we're at. And again, I've just used a bit of regular ink, nothing fancy. And I used a bit of blue, a bit of light blue, and a bit of purple. So there we go. You can see the difference between. Yeah, you see, look, the eye is sort of a different shape, and it's just how it happens, isn't it? It's one of those things. It's not a problem. but you can see how just adding that little bit of ink around the edge makes a difference. Let's sort of enlarge it a little bit so you can see it. So, you know, if you've got any line around, it's worth, you know, putting a little bit of colour around the edge as well, isn't it? It just gives it that little bit more of an atmosphere, you see? So, okay, for tile 80 then, if you're up for the challenge, give it a go. And yeah, I'd love to see what you're going to be doing. And anybody wants to be brave and do one a little bit larger, then again, I'd love to see it. So with that in mind, everybody, I'm going to go now. I'm going to just go and finish hopefully getting a little bit more packing done before Hermes comes, because I know you're all waiting for your items. I'm mostly done, but just a couple of bits left, but we're almost there. So everybody take care, have a lovely weekend. Marie's going to be back with you on Monday. She's going to be looking at the dies and stamps that we brought out. So if you've got any questions or you want a little bit of a hand with those, then she'll be on hand on Monday. And then we'll be back Wednesday at 2 o'clock with Oh My Word Tile 81. All right, so have a great weekend, everybody. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. All right, bye.